Yo, what's going on, guys? It is DFS Hart, and today I'm breaking down the 7-game NBA slate that we have on February 9th tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. Before we get into that, I just want to say welcome to my channel. My name is Hart, and I make daily NBA, NFL, and PGA slate breakdowns on Draftkings, where I'll be one of the best plays of the day and give you some building blocks and core plays that you can put into your lineups. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, as it really helps out my channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DFS Hart to keep updated on all things DFS. Now let's get into it. It is, only 10 o'clock tonight, the 8th, so there's only 3 games up right now. But the Knicks Heat, 7-point spread, 208 over under. Warriors Spurs, 1.5 point spread, 233 over under. And 76ers Kings, 4.5 point spread, 230.5 over under. First game of the night, we got the Nets versus Detroit. So as we know, Harden is still out, or Durant is still out, sorry, and Kyrie is questionable. I'm assuming Kyrie comes back. Let's see. He's still listed, he's listed probable. It was a finger injury. I think he'll come back, so let's just go off the news of that right now. Harden and Kyrie are both going to play. Durant is still out. Harden, firmly in play at 10-9. His price tag is up there, but even with Irving back, Harden's still going to have a ton of usage. It actually probably help him out a little bit more with Irving back. Take some of the defense away just from locking down Harden. So I do like them both. I'd rather get to Kyrie at 9-3. But, it's a great matchup. Both of them are firmly in play today. Great plays at their prices. And with Kyrie back, I don't know if I can get to Joe Harris. Jeff Green will get about 30 minutes, but at 5-3, he's not going to do much for you unless he's having a really good shooting day. DeAndre Jordan, not for me. And then you could take a shot on a guy like TLC at 4-2. I think he played 33 minutes, which is good to see. I mean, not a high usage guy. Shot the ball 12 times, which you like to see, but only got 13 points, 20 fantasy points. So you can definitely look to him with Kevin Durant out again. 4-2, decent value. That does it for me at the Brooklyn side. Just, really Kyrie and Harden at the top for me, and then TLC for value. On the Detroit side, we got Jeremy Grant at the top, 7K. I think, this is an amazing spot for him. You want to target Brooklyn. They're terrible at defense. Grant is going to play at least 35, closer to 40 minutes, has all the usage. Coming off a 53 fantasy point game against the Lakers. This is a perfect spot for Jeremy Grant. He's going to be popular in GPPs with his price tag and his usage, but you can definitely eat up that chalk. This will be a pretty good game stack if you want to do that. Delon Wright, questionable at 6K. We have to keep an eye on that because if he's out, they might start a guy like Frank Jackson, who's questionable. They're really limited on point guards, so they might start like a shooting guard like Wayne Ellington, maybe, Mikhail Luke. So we're going to have to keep our eyes out for the news on this side because it greatly affects the value. Because if Delon Wright is out, there's going to be value opening up in the guard spot for you to target against this really bad Brooklyn team. Mason Plumlee at 5'8", he's okay. Josh Jackson at 5'7" is someone I do have interest in. Playing, 25, close to 30 minutes, especially in these blowouts with their team, injured right now. He has the ability to go off, as you saw last game. Played a bunch of garbage time. Or he actually played really well the whole game. It wasn't really garbage time. It was a close game. So I do have some interest in 5'7" for Josh Jackson. He loves to shoot the ball. Blake Griffin at 5K. You can definitely take a shot. A small Brooklyn front court. He should be able to do well. But, he's had some really bad games this season. But I do have some interest in 5K for Blake Griffin, definitely. And I'd say that's about it. We have to keep an eye out on the news with Delon Wright being questionable. Because if he's out, as I mentioned, there will be some value opening up. So my favorite plays on this side are Grant, Jackson, and then taking a shot on Blake Griffin at 5K. New York versus Miami. Kind of an ugly matchup. Julius Randle at the top, 9-1. He's in play. He's a decent option if you land on him. Obviously, he has huge upside. Going to play a ton of minutes. Can easily get you probably 40 plus fantasy points. So if you want to look to him, you definitely can. I don't think that's for me today. RJ Barrett at 6K. It is a pretty decent price tag on RJ Barrett. He's been playing up and down, 27, 26, 37. It's the second matchup versus Miami, so you can definitely buy low on RJ Barrett at 6K. I wouldn't mind that. Excuse me. Who else we got? We got D Rose 5.2. Questionable. I don't know if he plays. They just traded for him, so what to see what happens with this. Yeah, I don't think he'll play, but we have to wait for the news to see if he does. Let's just say he's out. Alec Burks definitely played 5-1. I think he's been coming off the bench, but he's still playing close to 30 minutes a game. Pretty good shooter, can get you rebounds and assists, so I'd say he's more of a secondary play for me at 5-1, but not a bad option. Victor Robinson, you can take a shot at 5K. It's not for me. He hasn't been doing well this season. Playing a ton of minutes, but he's just not doing any rebounds, any points, any blocks. So you can take, a shot on him. Hope he does well. He'd be very low owned, but I don't think I'd do that. And then Quickly and Peyton. Peyton was doing bad for a while, so Quickly was getting a ton of minutes, and now Peyton's doing decent. So Quickly is losing minutes. So it's kind of just, game to game, what do you think's going to happen? Is Elfrid Payton going to play well like he has the past 2 out of 3 games? He did bad last game, but if he's playing well, he's going to get close to 35 minutes. And then Quickly he's going to lose out a minute. So they're at the same price. If you want to get risky and have the lower ownership, definitely go to Quickly at 4.9. He'll be lower owned because people are going to see the box score of Payton and be like, oh, they're running him all the minutes, he's going to play, and people are not going to want to take Quickly. So I'd go to Quickly over Payton just because of the lower ownership. He's got the same amount of upside if he's getting the minutes. So, and then Bullock had a good game last game, but at 4-4, he's just very score independent. Shot 7-17, 21 points. I feel like that's just chasing. As we see, he hasn't had that upside at all recently, so not for me. How many minutes is Austin Rivers getting? 17? No. Yeah, so really it's just, Julius Randle is always a safe play at 9-1. RJ Barrett is a pretty decent GPP option at 6K, even this matchup. And I do like Quickly a good amount to get off of a possibly chalky 4-8 Payton. On the Miami side, we got Bam at the top, 8-7. He didn't play. It's nice to see his price tag come down. He did really well against them last game. 24, 11, 5, 50 fancy points. So 8-7 is a decent price for Bam. So I do have a little interest in that. Jimmy Butler, 8-3. You can definitely go there. He's having a really good season right now. Pretty much triple-double upside every game. Playing at least 35 minutes a game when it's close. So I do like Jimmy Butler a decent amount, 8-3. It's not a sexy play, but he's been playing really well, so you can't deny that. Hero at 6-7. Way too expensive. I played him last slate. He's in a great spot, very low owned. Just not getting a ton of usage. He's kind of capped with about 40 fancy points being the ceiling right now. Can definitely get you more if he's having a really good shooting night, but with Jimmy back, I just don't know if I can go there. Goran is out, so that means Kendrick Nunn is going to be getting minutes and probably starting like he did last game, 31. It's a decent option for Nunn at 5-6. Price tag's come down a little bit. He will be popular just because he's going to get 30 plus minutes even if it's a blowout, and he can easily get you there with scoring. As we've seen, he's had some huge upside games, 47, 40. So I do like Nunn a good amount today as well. And then you can take a shot on a guy like Iguodala. He's always in plays, cheap value. Got a very low floor, but he usually gets, at least 20 fancy points a game. Going to get you at least, 20 minutes, maybe a few more if he's doing well. So I don't mind him if you take a shot on Iguodala at 3.7 for GPP value. Houston, New Orleans. Christian Wood is still out. Victor at the top, 7-9, firmly in play. Or actually, he played tonight, so I don't think he's playing tomorrow. They said he's going to rest. So Victor will most likely be out. DeMarcus Cousins, firmly in play at 7-4. He did bad tonight. I think he finished with 27 fantasy points, which sucks because it was Charlotte. Great matchup. So that's tilting, but you can definitely run it back with DeMarcus Cousins. Steven Adams is a pretty decent defender, so if you think he's going to keep DeMarcus in check, you can definitely, fade DeMarcus. He will be popular again today, just because his price tag is a little too cheap, but I'm fine if you land on him. John Wall is supposed to play, so it's 7-3 with no Oladipo. I think it's a great spot for John Wall. He'll play about 30-plus minutes, close to 35. He has 40-50 fantasy point upside. I know we haven't seen that this season, but he's slowly getting back to his normal minutes and normal usage, so great spot for John Wall. Eric Gordon, 6'2", you can definitely look to him. He's more scoring dependent, but he'll be playing. He sat out today. He'll probably play closer to 35 to 40 minutes. Do really like him at 6'2". And then you can take a shot on guys like Tate, House Jr., Nwaba, Sterling Brown. Whichever one starts, I would choose because they're going to have to use some usage and minutes for Oladipo, but I'd say the top plays are definitely Wall, Gordon, and Cousins. They're going to eat up all the usage, and I don't know if I can really trust any of these wings on Houston. New Orleans, B.I. at the top. As I mentioned, every slate has a huge ceiling if he's getting those rebounds and assists. He got it once again, 58 fantasy points. He got 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks, which is huge. He's been doing a lot better, 42, 48, 58. 33 minutes, 39, 35. This is a great matchup for him, Houston. So I'm more than fine if you land on Brandon Ingram at 8.5. He'll be low owned, so more than fine if you land on him. Zion 8.2, as I mentioned, every slate. If you want 38 to 45 fantasy points, Zion's your man. Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe. If you're gonna take a shot on one of them, go with Lonzo Ball. Higher upside, higher ceiling. And then Steven Adams, he'll probably play closer to 35 minutes today just because he had to guard Boogie Cousins. So he's in play. I'd say he's more of a cash game. Usually gets you, low 30 fantasy point wise, 5.9. Not bad, but I don't know if you want to go there for a GPP. That really does it for New Orleans side for me. Golden State, San Antonio. Steph always in play at 10-4. I think he's doing decent tonight in San Antonio, but he's always in play at 10-4. So if you want to go with him, that's fine with me. Draymond, way too pricey at 6.9. I don't know how I forget how he's playing tonight. Let's see. Let me look at my phone real fast. I think he started off with 3-4-3 in the first quarter. So I thought it was going to be a huge night for him, but I think he really cooled down. Come on, load. All right, well, it's just not going to load. Anyways, I just think it's too pricey for Draymond at 6.9. Wiggins and Oubre, I always suggest going over Wiggins over Oubre just because he's a better player. Even though the past 2 games, Oubre has been the better player, surprisingly. He had 59, then 22, and then I think he has 20-plus actual points today, and I think some rebounds and assists, so he'll probably have closer to 35, maybe 40, depending on this game ends tonight. So I'd still go Wiggins over Oubre. And then Pascal is back, so that kind of takes away some minutes from the guys like Anderson, Bazemore, Lee. I just really look to Steph and then taking that secondary option on Draymond Green or Wiggins. On the San Antonio side, Derek White killed me today. I think he's 1 of 10 right now. Only has 10 fantasy points. So, great spot for him. Just destroyed my lineup tonight. I think I'm still going to be able to cash, which is nice, but it's very tilting seeing that. But DeMar DeRozan, I don't think he's doing well tonight. I think the guy who's doing really well is DeJounte Murray, but DeMar's always in play. Going to play close to 40 minutes if it stays close. It's usually because of him. So I do like him at 7-8 in this back-to-back. DeJounte Murray, I think he's close to a triple-double tonight. So he has at least 60 fantasy points, if I'm correct. So he's having a huge game against them. He'll probably be popular. His price tag is only going up, what? Actually, not going up. It's, going down $300. So he's in a great spot to run it back again. I think people will chase him and his ownership will be up, but, Steph is not going to be able to guard DeJounte Murray. Poeltl at 6K, not for me. You can take a shot on Keldon Johnson if you want. I think we'll go back to Derek White, 5-4. Most likely we'll get a start again. If not, he's going to play at least 25, if not 30 minutes. He's usually a good scorer, good playmaker, but today he's just having a bad day shooting. I think people are going to get scared off of that, so I do like him for low ownership. Aldridge is questionable, so we have to keep an eye on that. If he's in, it kind of takes away some of my interest in pretty much everyone on this team. I mean, you can definitely look to one of them if Aldridge is back, but it doesn't help any of these guys' cases. Maybe you can still look to a guy like DeRozan or DeJounte and then take a GPP dart throw and White at 5-4. But with LaMarcus coming back, maybe, it's not the best for this team. It just mixes up everyone's minutes. So we have to keep an eye on that. Orlando, Portland. This will be another great game to stack. Vooch, 8-9. His price is always too cheap. As we saw against Chicago, he's massive upside. This is another great spot against Portland for him. I'm not scared of Enes Kanter defense. There's no one on the team that's going to be able to guard him. He's going to have a ton of usage. If they don't get blown out, which they probably shouldn't because it's Portland, he's going to be playing close to 37 to, probably 40 minutes. Ton of upside, 77, 51. Great spot for Vooch. Really like him. Aaron Gordon out. Evan Fournier is out. So guys like Cole Anthony, he's a decent option at 5'9". He's going to play at least 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more with Fournier out. He has high upside if he's getting some rebounds, assists, scoring the ball well. So I do like him a decent amount. Terrence Ross is going to have to play a ton. He might start today. So at 5K, he's going to be popular, but scoring dependent. So he can definitely have a low floor game, but he's going to get closer to 30 minutes, if not more. And he's a guy that can get really hot and get you closer to 40 fancy points. So 5K, that's a great spot for him. Great matchup. And then you can take shots on guys like Bacon, Ennis, and Clark. I just don't really think you have to do it. I just think all the usage is going to go through Vooch, Anthony, and Ross. And then the secondary options like Bacon, Ennis, and Clark are going to get a few more shots and some more minutes, but I don't think you have to do it. Dwayne Bacon usually plays 30 minutes when someone's out. Not a high usage guy. If he's scoring, he's not going to get you rebounds or assists. So you can take those dart throws on these guys, but I'd just rather go with the safer plays like Ross, Anthony, and Vooch. On Portland's side, we have Dame at the top, 10K. Going to be really popular today. Obviously, with CJ still out, he's a ton of usage, playing a ton of minutes. Can easily go for 70, 80 plus, so it's a great matchup for him. Yeah, playing about 40 minutes a game. Not scared of Cole Anthony defense. Great spot for Dame. Going to have a high ownership, but I'm fine with eating that chalk. Enes Kanter, 7-5. I don't think you get to do it. Vooch is a decent defender. They actually have him ranked number 1 right now. So you can definitely take a shot on Enes, but I just think it's too high of a price tag for him. Gary Trent, 6'4", Covington, 5'8". The wings, you can definitely take a shot on. It's just they're all getting a ton of minutes now. Derrick Jones Jr. is back. So it's just kind of a logjam. Gary Trent is going to be the most aggressive at 6'4". Going to play a ton of minutes. Pretty good defensive player too, so it can get you some steals and blocks. If you want to go with him, that's fine, but I think that's really it for me. Just Dame and Gary Trent, and everyone else is more secondary options. Hope they play. Hope they score. Philly, Sacramento, we got Joel Embiid at 10-5. Amazing matchup for Joe. No one on the Kings can stop him. He's going to have a ton of usage, ton of minutes. 1 second, guys. Sorry. So great spot for Joe, 10-5. With everyone healthy, I'm not going to go to Ben Simmons at 8-4. You guys can. He has triple-double upside. Going to play at least 35 minutes, but he's been terrible this season. I just, stay away from Ben Simmons. Tobias Harris with everyone healthy at 7-7. Not for me. You can take a shot there. And then Seth Curry's been terrible. I've been talking about him in my videos because at the beginning of the season, he's a great shooter. Had some really good games. He was averaging like 30-plus fantasy points a game. Now he's come back down to earth. He did decent against Brooklyn. 24.5 fantasy points, which is not the best, but at 4-2, he's a good shooter. I do think he's going to bounce back, so we can definitely buy low on him. That really does it for me on that side. It's mostly just Joe. And then everyone else has secondary options. Sacramento, we got Fox 8-8. If you can play him if you want, not for me. To have a price for him for 40 fantasy points is basically what you're going to get from him. Buddy Hield 6-8. No, thank you. Harrison Barnes at 6'4" is intriguing. He's been really good this season. He had a little bit of a stretch where he was doing bad, but he's bounced back. 44, 37, 42. Had a bad game, 18, 45, 41, 47, 22, only 4 points. So he's really a ton of minutes. They're going to need him. I do kind of like this matchup for him at 6'4". My boy Halliburton, 6'2", always in play. He's a beast. Going to get, at least 30 minutes. Lost a few minutes last game, but has a low triple-double upside, so I do like him. His ceiling's not huge right now, even though he got 45 2 games ago. But I do like him at 6'2". He's always in play. That's really it for me on this side. I just take a shot on guys like Barnes or Halliburton. Don't think I can trust Holmes in his matchup against Embiid. He's going to have foul trouble. Bagley is just, he's a decent GPP option just because either he's going to get the minutes and do well, or he's not going to do well and ruin your lineup. So, and then I guess you could take a shot on a guy like Whiteside at 4-4. If you think Joe's going to get Holmes in foul trouble, they're going to need Whiteside in his defense. He's a great point per minute guy if he gets at least 20 minutes. So, 4-4, not the best price for him, but if you want to go there, you can. Last game of the night, Boston, Utah. Not the best matchup. Jaylen Brown's questionable, so keep an eye on that. If he's back, Tatum is still a good play at 9-2. Ton of usage minutes. Brown would be a good play at 7-5. Kemba's still in a minutes limit, so I don't think you need to go there yet. His minutes are slowly coming up. Maybe they'll lift his minutes limit, so we'll have to see. But if Brown's back, I'd just rather get to Tatum or Brown over Kemba. And then you could take a shot on a guy like Thies at 4-8. He came off the bench last game, which I don't get, but played 35 minutes. Did pretty decent. He's only 4-4. They're going to need him to guard the Stifle Tower, so I do like Thies a good amount for, good center value at 4-8. And that really does it for me. I'll have to keep an eye out for Brown on this side. And then Utah. Donovan Mitchell at 8-1. Firmly in play. Main usage guy on the team, went off for 56 against Indiana. Been doing pretty well this season. I like the price tag at 8-1 for him. I don't think people are going to want to look to this game for pieces. I think they're going to be low on both sides. So Donovan Mitchell is a good GPP option. Same with Rudy at 7-2. His price is kind of down. He's pretty decent upside into the 50s if he's getting some blocks, rebounds, assists. He can get you a few, but he does have huge upside. His minutes have kind of been down, even though there's been some blowouts. The close game against Indiana only played 31, but I think you can expect close to 35 if this is a really close game and he's doing well and stays out of foul trouble. So I do like him a good amount today. Conley's out, so guys like Bogdan, Clarkson, Ingles are firmly in play. I think they're more secondary options. And then you can take a shot on a guy like Derek Favors at 3-9. Been playing really well recently. A good point per minute guy. It's just he's kind of capped at 20 minutes, so you can go there if you want. I think he'll be a little popular today, but it's kind of just Donovan and Gobert at the top for me. And then maybe taking a shot on a guy like Clarkson just because he's a good scorer off the bench. Or maybe Joe Ingles if he starts again at 5'8". He did bad last game shooting, but he's a good point per minute guy with rebounds and assists, so you can definitely look to him if he starts again. And I guess I'll give you guys a core. I like Dame. Let's see. Dame. I'm going to have to run it back with my boy, Derek White. He burned me tonight. Hopefully he does well tomorrow. Small forward. Let's just say Joe Ingles if he starts again. And then one more player. We'll go Kyrie. So that's my core for now. Dame, Derek White, Joe Ingles, and Kyrie Irving. Obviously, there's some injury news that we have to wait for tomorrow, and that will come out and probably change the slate, bring up some more value. But this is what I like so far. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, as it does truly help out my channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another slate breakdown. And I hope you guys cash tomorrow in this 7-game slate. Thank you guys.